Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, and we are at the midway mark of the semester. So if you were one of the people that submitted your social science essay on time, I congratulate you, and raise your right hand, pat yourself on the back, or raise both your hands and give yourself a good hug that you are doing well and making your way through the semester. At this point, like I said, we are at the midway mark. We have completed a humanities essay and we have completed a social science APA-based essay. So the first thing I'd like to do is to go ahead and look at our grades. I'm sharing with you as a student view of my own. So obviously I'm not the student, so I haven't submitted any assignments. But I'd like to talk to everyone a little bit about the point scale and how your grade is being calculated. So the first unit, which was the introductions, was worth 60 points. Okay. Then we had the humanities unit, which the smaller assignments were worth 5 and 10 points. And then the larger assignment, which of course was that final revised essay, was 100 points. So that unit was worth 110, 15, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 60, 160 points was the value of the humanities unit. Now we have just finished the social science unit, and that unit was worth 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, another 160 points. So like I said, that's the bulk of your semester. We are right now in the most difficult time of the semester. So if we can just hold on and push through getting the social science and the natural science essay completed, you're good to go. We don't have a big end of term exam, so you don't have to worry about that. We do have to worry about making sure that we finish that APA-based social science essay and then do our best on the APA-based natural science essay. Both the social science and the natural science focus on solutions. So students are expected to read a minimum of 3 articles or more, minimum of 3. One of those articles should come from the scholarly database sources. That means that we're reading mature content written by professionals for professionals. So multiple resources were provided on how to access the databases via the library online. So if you have not yet utilized the library online, please make sure that you go back through the course content and use those resources to make sure that our sources are mature sources. So one of our major goals is that we are looking at content that is written, again, for professionals by professionals. So it's a different style of language. It's a different style of development than what we would see in a typical newspaper or magazine article. Throughout the whole semester, we've continued to talk about how different people write differently for the audience that they're appealing to. The way we might text our friends or even email our friends is very different than how we might email a potential client or how we might reach out and send a letter to a scholarship board. Like the language that we're going to use is very different depending upon our audience. So for our humanities audience, we were writing to an educated population, but not one that was necessarily familiar with our piece of art. So we really focused on using detailed descriptive language. With the social science piece, again, educated, but yet not well informed on our particular topic. So anytime we were going to use specific language that was referencing intricate areas of our topic, we should have definitely been citing all of that information. Anything that's not considered common knowledge should be cited. Common knowledge would be 10 random people. Do 10 random people know what you're talking about? 10 random people would be the person pumping gas with you, the person at the checkout line at the grocery store, maybe a neighbor, and the kid that lives down the street, and the person that you pass on the road every day. It's not 10 other people in the same class with you. So common knowledge does not need to be cited. Like, most people know who Martin Luther King was. However, many people may not be familiarized with some of his less publicized speeches or some of his sermons. So if we reference specific examples of those things, then we would also need to cite that. So as we continue through this APA lesson, both with the social science and with the natural science unit, please make sure that you are continuing to cite in the text, both in-text citations and utilizing a reference list. The natural science unit is the last formal essay of the semester. So like I said, if you haven't finished up the social science unit, we need to please make sure we do that, as we are moving now into the final formal essay of the semester, the natural science unit. And this unit is worth 110, 20, 30, 40, 55 points. So it's a little less point value than the social science and the humanities. So it's really important that we continue to do our best and finish everything that's outstanding from the social science. Yes, I will allow you to submit things if they're not done yet. So I know life is complicated, right there with you, but please make sure we get it done. And then we're moving into this final essay unit, which is the natural science unit. The last section is the remix, and the remix is where you take all this new academic knowledge and you choose one topic. So you could choose your humanities piece, you could choose your social science piece, you could even do the natural science piece, but you're taking the academic knowledge and recreating it for a new audience, a non-academic audience. So we're not going to make a generic PowerPoint. We could make a YouTube video. We could even make a website using any of the number of free platforms that are available. I've had students compose poems and write songs and create volunteer campaigns. Think outside of the box for this remix, because again, the idea is that you're appealing to a non-academic audience. In light of politics, maybe you want to create a poll, and you could create a SurveyMonkey poll and send it out to all of your friends and ask them what's their knowledge of your social science topic. Or you could ask their knowledge and how do they recycle. Maybe your natural science topic is going to be about the need to increase recycling in our region. So you could poll your friends using SurveyMonkey or even Google Docs, and then put that information together in a diagram and create a short presentation to encourage others to recycle more. Right? So think of like advertisements or commercials or campaigns. That's what the Remix project is really all about. Changing the academic information for a non-academic audience. Now notice that section is only worth 120 points. So far less point value than all these other things that we've been working on. Because again, it does not include any research. It does not include a big essay. It's you taking your new knowledge and basically creating a presentation or reaching out to your peers with that knowledge. We'll continue to talk more about that as we approach it, but I wanted everyone to be thinking about the end. Like, we're at the halfway point. We should be thinking about, wow, we've done so much and we have, a little bit more to do. And then we can say we did it. We finished Comp 1. Right? So keep pushing forward, keep doing your best. And as we move into this natural science topic, remember it is APA and that it is focused on solutions, but it does also talk a little bit about the issue itself. The only other remaining unit is the grammar hammer section, and we will continue to have periodic review units and quizzes for the grammar hammer unit. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for those. And as you can see, each of those grammar hammer quizzes is valued at 10 points. You receive the instructions and then the review material and have 2 chances to take the quiz. So if you take it the first time and aren't so successful, please make sure to go back and review the content before trying the quiz again. Okay. So we're going to go ahead into the course content now and look at that natural science unit, as that is our current objective. So writing for the natural science, the last major essay of the semester, like the social science one, it is going to be 600 to 800 words. And there's a short video for you to watch about choosing a topic, reviewing in-text citations and how to do APA references. Again, it will be 4 paragraphs, 600 to 800 words. Continue to using APA format. The rubric is here. And just like the social science, it goes through and talks about the organization, introduction and conclusion. However, instead of developmental point 1 and developmental point 2, we now have most disturbing issue. So whatever your topic might be, red tide, like for example, red tide is an issue that the Florida coast experiences frequently. Knock on wood, I don't think that Pinellas County has been impacted by it this year very much, but other counties south of here have had some issues. But it does seem to have a cycle when we have really heavy rains. For example, it tends to be more severe. So what is the most disturbing issue? Some students in the past have written about the fact that the most disturbing issue is that much of it is caused by a few major industries in South Florida. Promising idea might be that we are looking at creating new aquifer styled systems to help clean the water. And like Moat Marine out of Sarasota has come up with a number of devices that actually eat the algae. So that's a promising idea. The final 2 areas are the citations and references, and then of course our academic expression area. Remember, this will be in 3rd person. So 3rd person, no I, my, me, you, we, our, or us. Instead of saying we should, is that Floridians? Is it students? Is it residents of Pinellas County? Be more specific and replace those pronouns with more specific nouns. I am giving everyone the option that you could change this up a little bit and include this disturbing issue in the introduction. And then just like the social science paper, you could make your 2 body paragraphs potential solutions rather than just one promising idea. Entirely up to you. But again, if you want to incorporate the disturbing issue in the introduction and then elaborate your body paragraphs on 2 possible solutions, that would be great. And then the conclusion would be a call to action based upon these 2 issues or these 2 suggestions. What would be the best next step, the call to action, just like we talked about with the social science. Okay, so there's your rubric. Back into the course content. And we're going to watch the video. Go ahead back into NS Explorer for natural science and scroll down. The other major objective this week is picking your topic, right? So you have a little bit of review on quoting and paraphrasing and summarizing. all stuff we've done before. And then you have choosing a topic. It is a discussion forum. So we know that means I'm going to post and then I'm going to respond to a peer and give some constructive criticism, suggestions, some kind of intelligent communication. The lesson does reference a database on local conservative issues or conservation issues, excuse me. You are not limited to this resource. Students are, however, limited to making sure that the topic is narrowed enough to address in 600 to 800 words. We can't address global warming in 600 to 800 words. That's massive. And just like we couldn't address all of gun laws in 600 to 800 words for the social science paper. So in choosing the topic, please make sure it is something that has been narrowed enough to be able to adequately be addressed in 600 to 800 words. You may choose your topic from this particular site, or you can maybe think about things that are happening in your own communities. It can be a natural science, environmental science, maybe oceanography. If you are potentially looking at a nursing or a medical program, maybe there's some kind of science issue within your industry that you might want to explore. For example, if I'm looking at entering to a nurse program and I live in Florida, I know that in the last few years, there's been a rise in weird flesh-eating bacteria. Maybe I want to look into that and what's being done about those things. You know, that's a viral and a bacterial science that could certainly be addressed in 600 to 800 words. We cannot address COVID in 600 to 800 words, especially when we still don't know enough about it to make suggestions necessarily of how to properly treat it. So I would really like everyone to please avoid that somewhat controversial and unknown territory of COVID. Okay? We can certainly think about other medical issues that do fall into science. Think about, again, things that are important to you. Maybe you've had a family member or a friend that has dealt with like a physical science issue, like nutritional science issue, maybe obesity or diabetes, or even cancer treatments, and explain how some of our treatment programs are worse than the disease themselves. And there's all kinds of stuff. Okay, but it is science-based, not social-based. So we're talking about the formulas and the implementation of solutions. We're not talking about how people feel. We're not talking about how much things cost. That is all the social side. So the biggest thing is it's narrow enough to address in 600 to 800 words, and that it is science-based, not social-based. I think I've probably given you enough to think about at this point. It's really important that everyone does their best to get caught up if maybe you've slipped. Email me if you need some help. I want to help everyone be successful. If you are struggling to finish something, please email it to me and say, hey, Professor Verdinsky, I started this. I'm a little confused. Can you help me? I'd love to help you. But if I don't see any work and I don't have any work to look at or make suggestions for, it's really hard to help students. So please reach out. Let me know how I can help you, or reach out to a tutor. The college has all kinds of resources to make everyone hopefully be successful. And I want nothing more than that. However, if you are feeling that you are currently in a position where it is not going to be possible for you to be successful this semester, whether it be, work, family, just being overwhelmed, I understand all of those things. October 22nd is the last day to withdraw from classes with a W, which means you can still recur some of your financial aid or your payments and maybe avoid academic probation. Whereas if we remain in a course and are unsuccessful or are withdrawn from the class due to lack of success as a WF, then our financial aid is at risk. Then our GPA is really hurt. So if that happens to apply to you, that you might be struggling or might need some help figuring out where to go, please make sure that you reach out to student services and registration and all of the people available to help you and get things figured out. Okay. Again, I'm here to help. Let me know what I can do. And I appreciate your time. Have a great week. I look forward to hearing from you all soon.